explanation for that. I don't see a problem here. Maybe there is. I don't know what it could be or why. There are some red lights flashing now. And it is something to do with my own here. So it might not be an external crash. It might be an internal crash. And it is a newt and I'm not aware of it. So let's just get on with the show, okay? Oh man, now what's happening? Okay, it's over here. Okay, so hello, Nikki. Yay. So anyway, gosh, I've been going for an hour. We haven't even hardly started, and I'm sorry. I'm a little bit wigged out. It was a very unnecessary. There's for some reason it looks like huge amounts of interference over here, and I don't know why. I'm not used to this at all. So I will do my best to keep things going. And we'll just have to go from there. The internet is very strong here, so it shouldn't be a problem, but there is a problem, and I don't know what it is. I've dealt with almost all the computer problems you could possibly imagine, but this one is a new one to me, so I'm sorry, everybody. It looks like there's a real kind of, like there's a choke. It feels as over here, the way it feels over here is just like somehow or other, the broadcast or the software or the cameras or the lights or something is kind of being choked. That's what it looks like over here, the way my technology is showing to me. Okay? It's like a choking feeling. All right, so Pretty Maker, we were talking about family. So you brought up family life. So when I see the Ten of Cups here for you, and I relate that to what's going on up there in the heavens, to me it feels like, again, everything is exactly as it should be. Why? How is that so? It's because it can't be any other way. So in terms of this eclipse that's happening, building up right now, you might be questioning the energy of family, family life, family dynamics. What does it look like to you? Okay? Because in the background over here, we have a very, very strong, but very, very subtle, extremely hard energy to diagnose with this Neptune in Pisces hard squaring with the Gemini energy here of the North Node and the Gemini Moon. Okay? This is like having a very difficult illness or disease that's very hard to diagnose. And it's just a real freaking pain. So, Pretty Maker, the way I'm looking at it for you is that you might be starting to question, what does it mean to have a family? How do you define a happy family? How do you define a family that's screwed up? What are the different things? Because some of the ingredients about family dynamics are that it's this most amazingly beautiful mess, and we get to enjoy it, kind of like the way kids get to enjoy their first chance at doing baking or cooking at home. Everything gets very messy, and if you take it personally, like when you look at your little child and go, "Oh my God, you should not have spilt all the icing, you stupid little idiot," and instead you look at it like, "Oh my gosh, look at that staggering mess. It's beautiful." And then you have fun with it, okay? Okay, I've got a stalker. Okay, so maybe I do have a stalker. Maybe it feels like there's some kind of like... Ugh. Anyway, thanks, Nikki. Eclipse messages. No more readings tonight. I can't take it anymore. I've been talking way too much and doing way too little on readings. So that's the last reading, okay, Nikki? You're the last one. Okay, little Bubba is at my side and he's wondering what the heck is going on because it's getting very close to his dinner time. Don't worry. All right, so Pretty Maika, let's have a look at the situation itself. Okay, so you've got an Ace of Pentacles here. So the way I see this is a sacred opportunity, chance for new starts and new beginnings. Even though the full moon is like a culmination, to me it's like an aha moment for you, Pretty Maika, where you can look at your family life from a whole new perspective. It's look at it like, instead of looking at it like, okay, there's all the routines, all the habits, all the horrible bad things that go on. Here's all the great things that happen and go on. And then my feeling is to do like one of these kind of magic tricks, okay, where it's really more like this, like, and then you see it in a completely new light, and you go, and it changes again. Like, question marks, question marks, question marks, question marks are exploding in my head right now. And it's all about, how do you define family life? What defines a happy family? What defines an unhappy family? The key ingredients in a loving relationship and in families, I believe, are things like trust, honesty, affection, patience, integrity, authenticity, truth, and open communications, and of course being loving. Okay, now in a family sometimes it's really hard to do the reality of the situation. Let me go to the chart. Okay, with the Ace of Pentacles, I'm looking at this over here. The reality of your situation, in other words, how much let's say quality time do you guys have together? Integrity is there. How much authenticity? How much honesty? How much patience? How much understanding? What is the good stuff? Where is all this good stuff? And what does it look like? Okay? We need to define that. And at the same time, you need facts about what is not working. Where are the problems? Where are the really, really subtle problems in the family that nobody talks about, nobody seems to understand, nobody wants to dare to go near them? But that's where the problems lie. And so sometimes what can happen is when you reveal it, you have a chance to heal it. So instead of pretending like everything is amazing all the time, sometimes it's worthwhile to actually take a look at the problems and do things in very, very uncomfortable ways inside the family dynamic that you would often prefer to just avoid. And instead, you take the opportunity to have a serious reality check. It would be like in the old-fashioned way, Pretty, it would be like having a family meeting at the kitchen table. You get the parenting figures, and they make a decision. We have to take care of business. Okay? Everybody needs to be present. And even if it's just a dog or a little pet bird or an older child or a belligerent teenager or a newborn baby, it's all about bringing everybody around the table and saying, okay, what is the reality of what's happening here? And someone has to be the boss. Let's say it's you, Pretty. And you basically say, okay, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to be the moderator for this kitchen table family meeting. It's obvious that there's something wrong, okay? We have to take care of this. So what do you think is wrong, my dear one? What do you think is wrong, my dear one? What do you think is wrong, my dear one? I want to hear all your stories. And you don't just like go into attack mode, like I don't like what I'm hearing, No, I just want to hear the stories. How do you see it? What is the story like from everyone else? You know, there are hierarchies in families, and certain members of the family are often scared to speak up because they don't want to disrupt the status quo of anything that's good that's happening. On the other hand, they would like to escape from anything bad that's happening. But in general, what happens is this. And people just start acting. They just like become fake people in order to go along to get along. And you can only take that so far before everything falls apart. So to me, it looks like what you need right now is a very serious reality check. That's the Ace of Pentacles. It's time for new starts, new beginnings, okay? And you can plan for that perhaps at the new moon eclipse in Sagittarius. What's the problems here? Okay, to me it feels like you're at a point in time. This is your reading. It's all about you, but you're asking about family. To me it looks like you're scared that you might be reaching a breaking point where you just can't handle it anymore. And everything that is important to you about family life is now at risk. Like anything and everything. It could be just everything falling apart. The risk that everything is falling apart. It could be just one tiny little thing, you know? Just one tiny little thing, you know, like you can have a leak in the plumbing. And then one day the whole house collapses. You know, you could have a leak in the roof and the roof collapse, whatever it is. You could have someone who is misbehaving and they just take it too far, and then there's like a family implosion. What I sense here with the Ten of Wands is that you're scared that you personally have either just reached a breaking point or that you are heading into reaching a breaking point. This is the energy of fear, of course, remember. False evidence appearing real. But the thing is, you're probably sensing it. Your brain is designed to seek out problems and detect the problems and try and fabricate solutions before the problem turns into a disaster. So that's what I'm sensing is the storyline here. So how are we going to deal with this? Okay, so to me it looks like you're a bit stuck here. With the Hermit card, it feels to me that you're kind of on your own in this situation where, like, if you are the one who's feeling that there's it's about time for new starts and new beginnings in the family dynamics, but you're wondering whether the whole of the family structure has the integrity of the strength to continue or handle it, you might be the only one with those perspectives and those opinions. Okay? So this person, this one, all the other people in the family, they might have their own totally different perspectives. But this is your reading about you and you're asking about your family. So what my feeling is that like, in some ways, I can't solve this for you. I can't do anything more than what I'm doing here right now, except to, like, throw this reflection back to you. Like, if you are sensing that there are insurmountable problems in the family and it needs to be dealt with, then that ends up being your problem. And that in alone is a problem, because in a family, it's usually a shared kind of dynamic. But if you're the one who's having to carry the weight of all of this and figure things out, it might feel a little bit unfair. But the way to go forward is understand. Okay, I'm gonna be kind of really. I feel like I have to be really mean and tough here. Like with that Hermit card, it feels to me is that you're kind of in a corner, and instead of pretending that you aren't, it's better just to accept and admit, like, wow, man, I'm really kind of boxed in here. And whatever is not working, I have to take some accountability here. And whatever is working, I have to take some accountability here and kind of weigh it up in terms of evidence. That Ace of Pentacles, we need to see evidence, okay? Not talk, not words. We need actions. We need measurable, quantifiable actions in order to, get some clarity and light on what's happening in the family situation. And only you can do that from your perspective. So that's kind of like a really awkward reading to leave you in that perspective. Like if you are like the matriarch, the mother figure in the family, sometimes the mother figure, the matriarch in the family is in a very lonely position, where they end up having to call the shots or call out some people, call out the situation or something, in ways that you would rather not do. You know, sometimes being like in a position of, if you want the happy family dynamic, the 10 of Cups, sometimes, you know, love means extending yourself above and beyond your comfort zone in order to foster and nurture your own spiritual growth and development, evolve, adapt, grow, and from there to extend that to your immediate loved ones. That's one of my favorite definitions of love. And sometimes, in fact, very frequently, that's an uncomfortable process. It's nothing to do with like gooey, num, 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 or cuddles, or passion, or all that stuff. It's to do with having to deal with the very, very tough stuff that comes with love. So I feel like you're in that situation right now, and in a way, all the reading is saying is that you just need to be aware that you're kind of on your own. You're in this perspective. You're the only one who can handle it from your perspective. Relatives, kids, spouses, and all everything. They're all going to have their own perspectives. But from your perspective right now, this is your perspective. Okay? And so the way to deal with it is purely from your perspective. And let's say you're a matriarch, then you have to call it out from your perspective and be willing to live with the feedback or the backlash that you get for calling it out. Like, if you decide there are a few things wrong with the family dynamics, you can't just sit there and kind of go like, well, I'm just going to go off and make dinner or whatever. You can't do that. It's time to we're going to have to deal with serious reality check. So to me, it looks like it's a very tough reading, having to step into the role of being, risk being, let's say, unappreciated, misunderstood for having to call out the realities and the truth about what's happening in order to capture the good stuff. Okay? I hope that makes sense. God, I hope that makes sense. Okay. All right, Gregory, you're up. Here we go. Sorry, everybody. This is taking a very long time to get into the readings here tonight. Let's blame it on the planets. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay. That's it. No more readings tonight. I can't handle any more. I'm kind of overwhelmed with just what we've got. Gregory, you're up. If you're not here, no matter, you're going to get your reading anyway. You know that. I'm going to go blind. I didn't see any notes. Hello, Ivona. Actually, I saw your notes there, Ivona. It's, yeah, a relief. It's probably a relief. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Nikki, about a stalker. There have been some very strange things happening here with the technology on my channel recently. It makes me feel like there's somebody or something out there literally messing with things just for the joy of messing with things and to try and suppress and choke and humiliate and degrade and demoralize. All right, Gregory, let's have a look. I know you've been going through a lot lately, like tumultuous activities lately in order to, let's say, corral. Oh, there you are. I see you. There you go. I know you've been through a lot in order to try and, let's say, what do they call it? Herding cats. Have you heard that expression? Where to me it feels like you've got a lot of wild energy around you and that you have to find a way to bring it into order. It's very tough sometimes. Okay. I just saw Nikki's notes. I'm just going to put a little scribble on here. Clips, messages, guides. All right. So this will be a comprehensive reading for you. Okay, Nikki? Please be patient. We've got Gregory, Mary, Yvonne, Karen, Nikki. Karen's going out to drive her son somewhere. Well, she'll be back. Herding cats. Worried about the Salazar case. Okay, got it. Okay. Let's have a look. See what's going on here. All right, cards are well shuffled. Let's get into it. We're only on the second reading, but we've been here for a long time. I'm sorry about the... sorry, I just should have found a way to dive right into it, but I didn't. Okay, let's have a look. What have we got? Okay, let's see what kind of story comes up here. Here's the situation. Here's the challenges. Here's how we're going to handle it. Okay, let's have a look at the energy for you. So we've got the Hermit here. Okay, so this is, I'm going to put this in reference to the planets. Okay, so whatever it is, Gregory, the Salazar case, wrangling, herding all these people in a way that, where they're all over the place. Yes, herding cats, exactly. So right now, here tonight, there's this tremendous pressure, the reality check police here. And it's going to increase and amplify over the next few weeks. Eventually, we're going to have the Sagittarius new moon in the middle of December. And then around the 15th, the moon is going to be over here. It's going to amplify this even more. This is still going to be present through all this time. We're here at the eclipse coming in right now. Okay? So, when I see the Hermit card here for you, to me, it's just it's just a simple reminder. Like, you can't rely on anyone or anything else outside of you going through this, let's say, vortex right now. With the eclipses, we got 2 eclipses coming in a row, okay? And they're touching on the nodal axis. Whether you are aspected or not, doesn't matter. It's the same thing for the whole of the planet Earth and everybody here. So it's kind of an intense pressure, and it could be very disruptive. I see eclipses as evolutionary gateways. So you might feel as though there's nowhere to turn, no one to talk to as you go through these eclipse cycles for the next few weeks, where like you're on your own. Okay, you're literally on your own, and what it tells me is that you're going to have to lean on your own integrity, your own knowledge, your own experience, your own wisdom, and anything external that you might traditionally want to lean on for support or understanding or backup, it's either not available or it's not reliable or it has no value. So you might as well get used to the idea of being extremely hyper self-contained over the next few weeks. And typically that's not a very comfortable position for people. But at least forewarned is forearmed, okay? Let's have a look. What's the situation? So we have another ace here. We have the Ace of Wands. So, hello, Queen of Water. I see you. With the Ace of Wands, I mean, this is culminating at the full moon right now. So this might be kind of an aha moment where, let's say, how about like this, where, you know, when you get aces, it's sort of like a message, like things crystallize and everything kind of goes like, aha! And you get it, okay? So even though you might have a lot of loose ends out there right now with this Salazar case, with family matters, financial matters, legal matters, there's a certain undeniable like clarity that comes with the full moon. It's just like it's unambiguous. There's nowhere to hide. It's a full opposition, sun opposite moon. And it tends to bring things to the surface, things that have been obscure, misunderstood, delayed, set aside. Suddenly everything comes into sharp focus, and you have to deal with it. And you go with the momentum. So that's happening right now. So it's almost like being a surfer, and you're kind of like doing your thing. You're getting prepped up, you're practicing, whatever thing. And all of a sudden you look around you and realize, oh my God, I have to catch this wave right now. And then everything else gets put aside. So if there's anything like that happening in your life right now, Gregory, where there are certain or one singular thing that is coming into prominence, coming into dominance, it means that's what's supposed to happen. In other words, it's like all hands, all eyes on this one particular matter. And it's in such a way that like you can't outsource it to anybody. You can't rely on anybody. You could have 10 readings in a row and it wouldn't help you. You just literally have to like get into it, and instead of being scared of that, seize the moment. Literally, as they say, seize the moment. That is the power of now. So that Ace of Wands is a very powerful message for me. So anyway, to tell you, like, you have to grab anything that smells like opportunity for you right now. If it's some kind of legal advantage, if it's some kind of financial advantage, if it's some kind of intellectual advantage, then you grab it and you go for it, and you do not worry about the consequences. Okay? It's not your problem. You have to live your life. If other people can't handle that, that's their problem, not yours. Hello, Delicia. I didn't even know you were here. Hello. Delicia, I can't handle it anymore. It's been such a freakoid night. I've got to do Gregory 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, Delicia, maybe we could meet up on Tuesday morning or something. That's all I can really offer right now. Okay, Gregory, I got to go back over here. All right. So to me it looks like, Gregory, you're being squeezed into a moment of sacred opportunity. It might not feel very comfortable, but what it does feel to me is just like someone who's already used to the shenanigans and the chaos and the constant shifting of energies, and then you notice it like, oh my God, there's this certain alignment, whether it's to do with, the legal or financial, family or whatever thing. There's certain things lining up, and it takes your full attention to deal with it. Then that's what you have to do. Basically getting, it's like you're being forced into a nozzle, like a nozzle where energy flows where attention goes, and you have to focus all your energy on dealing with the most important aspect of your life right now, whatever that might be. Grab that with full passion, live it out to the full, no apologies. What's the problem here? Okay, so with the Seven of Pentacles, you might feel as though you're heavily impaired in your abilities or skills or talents or resources to take action and do what has to be done. But that's okay. The way I look at it, it's okay in this reading. I look at it as fear. I think it's really good to know your limitations. With the Seven of Pentacles, I don't see this as like you don't run away from this. This is something that you simply observe. You look at the situation around you and realize like, Man, there are some things that are seriously messed up in my world right now. And it's not you, Gregory. It's other people, other situations, other things. And you're left, it's like looking, it's like you inherit a house, you inherit something, whatever it is, and you realize, oh my God, I got to clean the gutters, there's black mold, there's no, people haven't done any of the maintenance on this or that. It could be to do with the family, resources, whatever. You're starting to see very clearly all the minute details of anything and everything that is wrong with the situation. Whether it's a person or certain people or certain facts or certain information that is coming to light. Okay, this is very, very prominent energy here. These Seven of Pentacles are very prominent. They are fully apparent, but it's very hard to tap into it because it's like covered in vines. You don't. That is not going to stop you. Okay, you just need to be aware of it, about what kind of a tangled mess you might be in. Okay, like being really entangled. Hey, Delisha. Nikki's here, Queen of Water's here. If you've got a reading that could be done like in the chat, I don't know, maybe just reach out. I don't know if Frittely's here. She's really good at these things. Nikki's really good. Oh, sometimes we get Love Triber and Path Traveler there. Love Triber does readings, things like that. I can get you guys hooked up. All right, so how are we going to deal with this, Gregory? Because the way it looks to me is though you're basically on your own here. You can see a path, you can see potential for resolution, but it is like herding cats. There's a lot of obscurity. There's a lot of just static that's messing things up. How do we deal with that? Okay, to me it looks like you have to kind of go forward. This is very symbolic in terms of the imagery. It's really literally about putting on your superhero costume and going forward anyway. It's almost like acting, like putting on the show, where in order to move forward with whatever this is we're talking about, whether it's a legal matter, financial matter, family matter, whatever it is, the way to handle it, see this Wands energy here, it's very powerful. It's very, very strong Wands energy. So what that's telling me is it's kind of about putting on theater. No one else can do it. You can't outsource it to anybody. You're kind of, it's almost like being forced into center stage. And then just having to deal with it. Like if there's hecklers, like people are trying to take you down, you can't take it personally. You can just kind of look at them like, okay, I understand you. You can have your opinions, blah, blah, blah. And so you don't take the hecklers personally. And then if you've got anyone supporting you on your side, don't expect them to coalesce around you. You're literally, to me it looks like you're literally on your own, and you're going to have to put on a show. Put on some live theater, step into your superhero aura, put that on. Literally, it's just literally like acting. Jack Nicholson said, he's a very famous actor from decades ago. He basically said, "What's the secret to your acting, Jack?" And he said, "Really, all I ever do is I pretend I'm the person, whatever they dress me up in the hair and makeup and wardrobe department. If they put me in a suit and tie and I'm supposed to be evil, that's what I do. If they put me in silly clothes, that's what I do. Whatever it is, So it's to me it looks like the way to deal with your situation right now is to kind of create an aura about yourself, like acting. Put on your imaginary superhero outfit, and then you just kind of go out there and you deal with it. And then people believe you, it's literally like acting. That's the only way I can describe it. It's like you have to put on a show, put on the aura of being someone who has all the skills and the capabilities to deal with the challenges. Even though you might not have it all together, what really counts is the aura, okay? Just presenting this aura, like, in other words, if you have to, slap a few people around a little bit, like, metaphorically, like, okay, everybody calm down, okay? I got this, okay? It's like you have to take charge. You have to be the boss. It means having to be larger than life and kind of command the room. Have you ever heard that expression? It's take command of the room. So it's all eyes on Gregory, and you can handle it, okay? Because you got your superhero aura. You have to make that happen. You can do that by invocation, okay? Okay, here we go. Trying to be. Oh, hey, Delisha. Sorry, Delisha. It's been a very strange night. There's been a really serious bad crash, and I got kind of wigged out by all the energies that I'm feeling here tonight. And we're heading into a full moon eclipse. And you wanted a reading. I already got readings booked here. Next one up is Mary. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and all I was saying is that I don't know if I can handle another reading after Nikki. So 1, 2, 3, 4. What time is it now? It's 5, 6, 7. We've been here for 2 hours. 8, 9. Yeah, I don't know if I can handle it, Delisha. If people want readings, the way we do it, you can wait for another day. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Gregory. I see your thank you there. So, Delisha, the next week is going to be really tough for me. Everything's packed over here. I've got meetings. But we can certainly work together. If you're not in any mad rush, we can do something privately, or you can wait till next weekend or something, do a little mini micro reading like this. If you want to get into it, just go to tarotlumination.com and we can book something, okay? All right, Mary, I'll see you. Thanks, Delisha. Yeah, Tuesday might work. Yeah, just go to tarotlumination.com. Let's see if we can figure it out, okay? All right, Mary. I don't know if you have any particular issues, but if you don't, I'll just do a blind reading. It's up to you. I can't remember if you sent me any notes. I don't think you did. Okay, any messages that come to you. Okay, that's great. That gives me lots of scope. Thank you, Mary. All right. Okay. So, Mary, this is kind of for my own peace of mind, so that I can help myself to get more centered. I'd like to invite you to kind of get really tight focused here, and invite your spirit guides, your invisible friends, your angels, archangels, all of that to kind of gather around so we can optimize this reading, okay? Make the best of it. All right? Give me a second. Okay. All right, here we go. Cheers. Cards are already well shuffled and cut, but I'm going to do it again. I need to do it again. I need to feel really crystal clear, okay? I just had a kind of a big hug from some of my own invisible friends. What they are telling me is that They are aware that I'm struggling. I'm having a difficult evening, to be honest, but they are still here for me anyway, which means they are here for you, okay? That's kind of why I reached out to you, okay, Mary? Here we go. All right, here's the situation. Here's the challenges. Here's how we're going to handle it. And let's look at the environmental influences. As you know, I like to focus on the planets. I like to blame everything on the planets. Okay, so we've got... Oh, this is nice. Okay, I'm going to bring over here, get the charts. Page of Wands. So this is very, to me, it's very encouraging energy. I'm looking at the bright side of this. To me, it feels like, Mary, you need to know that no matter how tough things get right now, okay, you still got this, okay? If you can imagine you're on an epic journey in life, and you're just coming to one of those moments, those like, what do they call them? And like an epiphany, one of those, oh my God moments. You're coming to one of those moments in your life where you're starting to see things crystallizing, opening up in front of you, and you're seeing things from a much, much bigger perspective than you've ever known before. And then you're trying to figure out, what does that look like in terms of the tiny details of my life? Oh my God. So do you remember, Mary, if you were ever a kid, or at some point, have you ever had the chance to... Did anybody ever give you a chance to look through some really good binoculars or a really good telescope? So instead of looking up at the sky at night, you can still look up at the sky at night, but you look through a telescope or some binoculars and you look at the moon or Saturn or something like that, or some of the constellations or some of the horizons or whatever it is, something amazing, and you see it in a really much bigger, more profound way than you've known before. That's what I think is happening here for you, Mary. And this is a time of sacred opportunity where it's time for you to look. Okay, this is going to sound weird, but like when I see the Page of Wands there, it's like, it's a chance for you to be like a little kid where you can look around your life and your world like, wow, I thought this, and this, and this already, and I already know that, and that, and I've lived through this, and this, and this, and this, and I thought I had it all, but now I'm realizing, whoa, there is so much more going on. Holy bleep. That's what I'm sensing for you. So to me, that's kind of exciting, kind of encouraging, okay? So what's the situation itself? Oh, I don't know if it's a love thing we're talking about here, but I'm going to kind of go bigger than just love and relationships. It's like, okay, here's what I'm sensing, okay, Mary? You might be like going through like an expansion of consciousness, okay? And it's happening in the world of relationships. When I look at this, okay, I look at the eclipse here. This is the dynamic of relationship. It's a powerful opposition. It's happening in an eclipse. What I'm sensing is your consciousness is expanding in terms of relationship or relationships. It might be one person or several people, or just the way that you look at relationships in general, where you're starting to see them on a much more of a grand scale, like past lives, present life, future life, and you're starting to see certain characters in your life. It's like, my God, have we known each other before in a past life? Have you ever had a past life regression reading? I don't know. I never thought about it. But somehow I feel like we've known each other before. Wow. Sometimes that happens, Mary, with like spouses and children. or parents, you start to realize, my gosh, your three-dimensional reality is starting to look into a multi-dimensional reality, and you're seeing it in the world of relationships. You start to see, like, my God, yes, like we were in a past life together, or I was in a past life with you, or you were in a past life with me. Do you remember blah, 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 blah? Especially if it was love and romance or tragedy or something like that. Okay. Alright. Alright, so what's the challenge here? Because it looks to me like you're partly being forced to look at life and world and relationships through a much bigger lens, and at the same time not being prepared for this, okay? Like starting to see, okay, you might, like you said, TF, what's that, a twin flame or something? You might start to see like a certain relationship is much bigger and more important than just like your average regular relationship. You realize, like, I've known you before. You've known me before. We have history. We can see it in our, smell it in our DNA and our astrology. That's what I'm sensing. Okay, what's the problem here? Okay, so sometimes what happens when you have like past life reincarnations and they come back to you in this lifetime, sometimes it's all to do with like working out issues that were never resolved in a previous lifetime. So you, with the Emperor energy here, it might feel to you as though it might feel a bit overwhelming. If there's a certain character, person in your life who is starting to show these characteristics of like having past life karmic relationship of some kind, and you're starting to see the depth and the meaning of it, okay? And something about it really scares you, but there's no way to deal with it except to deal with it right now, here in this lifetime. This is a very, very strong energy to the point where it might almost be overwhelming, okay? This is a very, I just saw your notes there. He is an Aries. Okay, so for example, this could represent the energy of an extremely self-assured, very, let's say, determined male energy. Like the Emperor energy, when it's good, it's great. When it's bad, it's horrific. There's nothing worse than an evil dictator. And there's nothing almost more delicious than a benevolent king. Okay? It's fantastic. So if you are being exposed to this kind of energy and you're seeing both sides of it, like the shadow side of strong energy and the bold, beautiful, and loving side of strong energy, yes, it might be scary because let's just say it's positive. Okay? Just say it's positive, and then you realize, wow, for all that positivity, that's great when it works, but oh my God, what happens if it backfires or goes wrong? Ouch. Okay, let's have a look over here. How do we deal with this? If this happens to be like a relationship reading. We had this earlier, didn't we? The Knight of Wands? Can't remember. I think we did. So the way you go forward, to me, it looks, again, a little bit like, this looks a little bit like acting. Where, okay, Mary, okay, here we go. If you're dealing with a certain specific individual, this particular person, you said he's an Aries, and that's how you're relating to this reading, and in some ways it's a little bit intimidating, or a little bit, I think I said the right word, intimidating, where you might not be prepared for this, and you're starting to kind of go a little bit like, oh, whoa. the the way to handle it, like let's just say someone out there, perhaps this Aries person, has this kind of larger than life character, and they're very, very self-assured or very strong or dominant or very controlling and convinced that they're always right all the time. But let's just say they love you and you love them, and there's some kind of past life reincarnation thing happening here now in this lifetime, and you're here to deal with the unresolved stuff. The way to deal with it is what I would think of as through acting. You basically kind of look at the situation in a very detached, impersonal way. You go like, well, you know what? Okay, the way I'm going to deal with this, if you are so like over the top, and that's how you conduct your life, then this is how I'm going to be. Watch me. Okay. So you want to play that game? Okay, I can do that. You want larger than life? I will play larger than life. Okay? You want to meet your match? I will be your match. Now, I'm not going to tell you whether I'm acting or not, or whether I'm going to fake it till I make it, but that's the whole point. You're not supposed to know. So, again, it's like, was this with Gregory's reading? Or like, talking about putting on your superhero outfit, your wardrobe. The way to deal with the situation is to rise up to the situation, put on your best, most courageous, impressive self, and move forward. It's all about bravado. It's all about the show. It's just almost like, okay, in other words, I'm Mary Michael, okay? But there's also Mary Michael, okay? There's this other version of you. So that's how you deal with the situation. In order to handle the energy field about this situation, is that you have to meet it face on, and you have to you have to reflect back with something similar. Otherwise, you just get kind of crushed, okay? So you have to kind of step up, put on your bravery outfit, and then step into the light and deal with this. Because here's one other thing, okay? I don't want to get too deep into this, but people who are supremely confident, or they're bullies, or they are abusers or something like that, they don't stop unless someone or something confronts them, okay? And if that happens, when that happens, then they turn on their own type of energy, and then they watch how you respond. So if you respond and kind of go then they kind of go whoa, okay, you know what? I respect you. See, it's all like theater. It's all like show. So if you need to, if necessary, right now, the whole experience might be for part of your own spiritual growth and evolution, for you to learn how to be bigger, better, more powerful, more courageous in the face of pressure. Okay? So I hope this reading makes sense to you, because I think it's ultimately very favorable for you to learn more about yourself. Wow, TL, you're saying I can be all of that? And I'm not saying you can be. I'm saying, Mary, you have to be, okay? You have to kind of put on a bit of a show here. That's how you deal with this kind of energy, all right? Hope that helped. Sorry, I lost it. All right, Yvonne, I hope you're still here. I hope I didn't send you to sleep or whatever. You had some issues about love and romance, okay? Yeah, I think that reading there, Mary, was about relationship dynamics and how to hold your own, how to keep your head high. Yvonne. All right, cards are pretty well shuffled. Yvonne, are you still here? If not, you will still get your reading. Don't worry. It's taken a long time. The show's going very slowly. I've only got a few readings and it's going very slowly. I'm sorry. It's been kind of an overwhelming evening for me. I'm literally just, keeping the show going, as they say. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, let's just dive right in, okay, Yvonne? We're just going to dive right in. So you kind of know the routine. Get yourself comfortable. I already feel you over there. I feel like you're right here, right now. No matter, whatever the challenges might be in love and romance or whatever it is, I feel a very strong sense of self from you right now. Okay? I'm glad you're here, Nikki. It's helping me. It's really helping me a lot. Thank you, Nikki. I really enjoy knowing that you're out there in the chat, bouncing around with some of the visitors. I sense a lot of gratitude, Yvonne. Seems to me like you are a woman with a big heart and you recognize the things that are really important in life. And when you spot it every now and again, it's like you're not shy about gratitude and thanks and appreciation. So that makes it very easy over here. Here's the situation. Here's the challenges. Here's how we're going to handle it, and we're going to look at the weather, circumstantial energy, environmental influences. I like to blame the planets. I've got Ace of Pentacles. We've got some bunch of repeat cards here tonight. So, even though we've got a full moon, and it's an eclipse, you could just say that, normally I would probably associate this with a new moon, but for tonight, right now, the way it looks to me is like this is a culmination. Full moons tend to be a kind of a culmination. And when you have an eclipse, sometimes it can be a culmination that brings things to the surface that need to be dealt with, finalized, and put away once and for all. Like an evolutionary leap. You come in here, you're elevated to here, and you go out there. Okay? So we're in that vortex right now. So this might refer to that vortex. So what you want to do, Yvonne, is as you assess your life and your world around you, especially if it's to do with a relationship, watch the actions very, very carefully. Actions speak louder than words. And then use that as a new perspective to calibrate the dynamics of relationship going forward. Okay? So, in your situation here, I'm just referring to the eclipse. Relationship dynamics here. Relationship dynamics here. There's a lot of relationship dynamics that are being put through a blender right now. And it's gonna, you know what it's like when you put, when you make a smoothie or something, you put it in a blender. Everything gets shaken up. You start with something and then you end up with something completely different, okay? So, what I'm sensing here with the Ace of Pentacles, and to me it's like a wake. To me it feels like this. Okay, I'm just going to get to it, right? Okay, Yvonne, this is Tarot Illumination acting. To me it feels like, Yvonne, Yvonne. This is, excuse me, my seat is coming unglued a little bit here. It's Yvonne, like, come on, Yvonne. This is a really important time. You got to wake up, open your eyes, look at the reality of your love, your situation, your life. Whether it's empty or full or ambiguous or screwed up or messed up, whatever it is, the reality of what it is needs to be, let's say, what's the word? Needs to be determined. So there's no ambiguity, okay? You cannot afford to live in cuckoo land, in clouds. Whoa. Doesn't work. Ultimately, that can lead to disillusion, disappointment, loss, confusion, and then blame and shame. What I'm suggesting here with the Ace of Pentacles, this is a really good time to really bring everything into stark, blinding reality of what things are. Like, how bad is it? How good is it? How mediocre is it? What are the issues that need to be resolved? What are the issues that are extremely resistant to resolution? We need to know all of this, okay? If someone is resisting, or if you're resisting, it needs to be brought out into the light, into the open, and do a very serious, hardcore reality check. Like a very, okay. This spread that I use is Lumination situational spread. It works kind of like a diagnostic tool when you go to an auto tech place, car fixer person. And you go in there and you say, like, I don't know, I got the smoke coming over here, and I got the, this is like weird clicky thing over there, and I know I need a new carburetor. And then the technician looks at you and says, your car doesn't even have a carburetor. That went out 30 years ago. But we can plug into the diagnostics and see what the actual problem is. And then you go like, oh, okay, well, anyway, I just wanted to let you know. So that's what I'm sensing here. This is a golden opportunity to look at the facts, the reality of love, reality, or situation. Whether you're starkly alone or deeply engaged or in a relationship where things are not as they appear to be, whatever it is, we need to get to the facts, okay? What's the situation itself? Okay, it's just what I was saying, okay? With the King of Swords here, to me it looks like, Yvonne, it's really, really important that it's time to hold ground, okay? This is an extreme, like, hyper-masculine energy, as you can see. I don't actually see this as the other person. I'm looking at this totally as you and your reading. And what I see here is that it's much more about you. It's really time for you to start living in truth, living in facts, living in reality, very, very three-dimensional, unequivocal, unapologetic reality, okay? Often what can happen in relationships, people are very, let's say, forgiving, or they let things slide, or they kind of don't ever deal with any of the problems, because dealing with the problems can lead to more problems. So what happens is people kind of reach these levels of so-called harmony or balance or status quo, where this person allows for, a lot of mediocrity or compromises, and then this person allows for mediocrity and compromises. But what I'm sensing here is that this is no longer acceptable for you, Yvonne. Somehow or other, to me it looks like it's a time to recalibrate everything in terms of life, love, romance, if it's one person or an individual already, or if there's someone out there. It needs to be dealt with in a very, very stark, clear, unapologetic, truthful way. In other words, if someone says, you know what, I like you, wait for their actions. If someone says, oh my God, I love you, wait for their actions. If they're saying, I love you, but they're screwing around over here, that's not love. That's exploitation. And so on and so on. Okay? What's the problem here? Okay, to me it looks like you're wondering if it's worth it all. Is it worth putting all the work, the time, and the energy in a love relationship? Pentacles are very, very much to do with evidence of love. In other words, if you're putting a lot of work into life and love relationships, but you're not seeing the return, it's kind of like making a bad investment on the stock market. You might get to the point where you just cut your losses, just like, I don't care, I just have to get out. It could be one of those situations. On the other hand, it could be like, with the Eight of Pentacles here, okay, I'm getting a completely different spin now. You might be in a situation where work, career, and money is almost obsessive in love and relationship, to the point where love is really not part of the relationship. It's just the relationship is more about the mechanics of relationship. And again, you have to wonder whether it's worth it. Some people, they get married, they have relationships, they're looking at each other's bank accounts like, what can I get out of you? And what can I get out of you? What happens with joint resources? And then, where's the love? And they're looking at each other like, how can I exploit you? How are you going to exploit me? Okay? And things like that. So what I'm sensing with the Eight of Pentacles here for you is like deep concern about the level of investment. How vested are you in this particular person? How vested is this particular person in you? And how does that show in terms of real live facts, real live evidence? Like if somebody says like, oh, I can't wait to go out and do blah, 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 blah. And then they say like, oh, I can't make it. Oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And then it doesn't happen. Oh, I love you so much, I love you so much. And then it's kind of like, you realize like, they're just... So anyway, let's keep going. Again, the main theme I see so far is like a really stark reality check to figure out and understand, where are you allocating your resources, your love. If you think of each of these pentacles as a love token, where is that being spent? Where is that being saved? Where is that being invested? Are you seeing the returns? Okay? Let's see, how do we deal with this? Okay, this is an absolute no bullshit type of situation here. To me, it looks like if we're talking about a particular person, it's time to basically say, you know what? We just have to call it out. What exactly is going on here? Okay? Okay? The Knight of Wands. To me, this is almost like, Yvonne, you have to save yourself. Okay? Now, so many people, I'm not an expert at this stuff, I do a lot of readings. I've done thousands of readings. But I don't have any certificates in, relationship psychology. And I didn't go to the University of blah, blah. I don't have any of that stuff. But with this reading for you, Yvonne, if it was about love, and there's question marks, what it looks like to me overall is that it's just like this really stark reality check. It's time to really see things in the truth, in the light, facts, physical evidence. Actions speak louder than words. And then you go from there. If the words don't match up to the evidence, then you've got a problem. Okay? And then you figure out, well, what am I going to do with this problem? Are you going to continue to invest in something that is not real, not fully authentic, doesn't have the worth or the value? What's the point? Okay? It seems like it's kind of a rude reading, kind of a blunt reading. But maybe you needed to hear it. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm not trying to tell you what to do or how to do it. To me, it's much more like, Karen, we need a serious reality check. I'm pretending that I'm holding your shoulders right now, and I'm coming from the best of intentions. Like, Karen, we need serious reality check. We need truth, facts, okay? Not suppositions, not rumors, not gossip, not expectations, not coulda, woulda, shoulda. We just need truth, reality, and facts. And then what do you do? Okay? So it's really, really important. And if necessary, with the Knight of Wands, it might be a very awkward thing where you have to call it out. Okay? In other words, literally putting someone to the wall and say, okay, you love me, I love you, I need to see the evidence. I mean, I don't know relationships that work like that exactly, but like if this was a movie script or theater, that's what it would be. It would be like a, okay, what exactly is going on here? Literally, like, and that's a good way to leave this. Like, I pretend I'm Yvonne, okay? I pretend I'm Yvonne. And you're dealing with nebulous things that don't make any sense in love and relationship. And then you decide, you know what? I'm sick of the bullshit. I'm going to call it out. What exactly is going on here? Wait for a response. Chances are it could be little bit like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Listen to the words, fine, but then watch and observe the actions. Very, very important. Okay? The actions have to match up with the words. If they don't, you've got a problem. Okay? All right, Karen, you're up. Karen, are you back? Have you finished dropping off the kids and all of that? All right, let's have a look, see what's happening here. Okay, hold on. Just got to check something. I have to do some checkups on the chat. Hold on very quickly here. Right here. Oh, wow. Okay, some very weird stuff going on here. Actually, I don't think it's a problem. Okay, so I need to, Karen, before I do, Karen, you here? Oh, thank you, Queen of Water. That would be so awesome. Yeah, thank you. Yes, Nikki, we can do that. I wish I could play you this new song I'm doing. It's called The Perfect Time. Because it's always the perfect time. I want to have something fun, really. Oh, what can I do? What can I do? I just want to check one of my songs, Nikki. It's called Circle of Love. Okay. Let's have a look here. Bear with me a second. It's a bit longer than I want to do, but I'll play it, okay? Here we go. Thank you, Nikki. Why is it not playing? La da 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 da, la 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 la. Okay, hold on. I'm going to go back and I'm going to play it again. This song is called Circle of Love. Nikki wanted to have a little bit of music. It's probably a good idea. Give me a minute or a break to recollect myself. We still got 2 more readings to do tonight. This is called Circle of Love. I wrote it quite a long time ago, actually. And it was about how America was falling apart and Americans were destroying each other. And to me, it felt like I was reliving past lives of war through revolutions and declarations of independence. And, you know, you get very numb to the blood and the savagery and the destruction. You just kind of go, oh, so-and-so died. Oh, so, you know, blah, they had their legs blown off or whatever. Back in the day when war was very ugly and bloody and very, very painful. And we still have war today, but it happens in different ways. We have currency wars, we have gang wars, and so on. But it's still very painful. And even though, I don't want to go into the politics too much. Shut up, TL. Shut up. Okay, I'm just going to play it. I just think of the little children. Let's put it that way. La da 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 da, la 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 la, la da 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 da. It's like a little Bob Marley white reggae thing. La da 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 da, la 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 la, la da 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 la la la. I got this message from angels above. Come together in a circle of love. Put down your weapons and unload your guns. Come together in a circle of love. Yeah. La da 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 da. La 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 la. La da 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 da. Going deaf from explosions. Screaming babies everywhere. Their blood is flowing to the oceans. Our hearts are numb from trying to care. Trying to care. I got this message from angels above. Come together in a circle of love. Put down your weapons and unload your guns. Come together in a circle of love, yeah. La da 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 da, la 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 la, la da 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 da, da 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 da. Soon, when the smoke and dust has lifted, and all the rubble has been cleared, and all the bodies will be sifted. Their ghosts will walk around for years, years and years, yeah. I got this message from angels above. Come together in a circle of love. Put down your weapons and unload your guns. Come together in a circle of love, yeah.
this message from angels above. Come together in a circle of love. Put down your weapons and unload your guns. Come together in a circle of love. Yeah. Sha-da-da-da-da-da. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Yes, I got some dinner. Alright, so there we go. Alright, what I'm going to do, Karen, let me just check if you're still here. I just want to check. Karen might be away for a little bit. You know what I'm thinking? If Karen's still away doing the kids, Nikki, why don't I go ahead with your reading? And it's a Bubba break. Well, guess what, Frittily? Hello! Did you hear me talking to the cat? Because guess who's here? Guess who's here? Bubba just woke up from a nap. He's feeling very warm and fuzzy and cuddly right now, and basically he wants dinner. He knows it's dinner time. Yeah. This is little Bubba. There's also Boo Boo and Bonnie. But Bubba likes to kind of be close to where the action is. He's very warm and soft at the moment because he's been having a nap. But it is his dinner time, okay? This is little Bubba. Little Bubba. Okay. Oh my gosh. He's walking on the stage. Okay, I'm going to have to get Bubba some dinner. Hold on. Okay. So I'm going to put on another piece of music, people. Stay right there. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm going to put on something for you. Stay there. Okay. Oh, you know what I could do? I could, give me a second. I want to think about this. I want to do something optimistic. So, this is all about amplifying the girl power, let's put it that way. So I'm going to play the Hey Oh song, all right? And that will give me a chance to go get dinner for Bubba. Here we go. It sounds like this.
It was one of those days where everything goes wrong. My hair fell out, my heel broke off, I slept through my alarm. I missed the bus to night school, my stalker walked me home. I sprayed his face with mace and then he left me all alone. Hey, better go out tonight. I'm gonna dance my stress away until the break of daylight. Hey, there's nothing I'd rather do. You may not wanna dance with me, but I wanna dance with you. A lot of my relationships, they end up in the ditch. So I'm getting counseling for being an uncontrollable
Oh gosh, so the song is over already. Oh, I forgot. It went. Oh boy, sorry about that. Alright, did I lose? Alright, okay, so, sorry, I don't know how long I was away, but I just fed Bubba and the cats and the boys, okay? Okay. Let's see. Okay, so, Karen, I think it looks like Karen is still out and away. Oh no, there she is. I see you. You just made some hummus to take to the drumming circle. Okay, so let's get your reading done before you have to go. Okay. Karen, that's freaking awesome. I really admire your entrepreneurial spirit. All right, let's have a look here. Go on, let's have a look. So, give me a second here. I'm trying to recalibrate the show. I just took a little break there. Okay, so, gosh, there's a huge delay on the stream tonight. Huge delay. Huge delays on the stream tonight. So, again, we can blame it on the planets, blame it on the platform, Google, YouTube, the internet, whatever. We're still going. All right. Okay, so I don't know if you just saw. How's Bubba? Bubba's fine. Thank you, Nikki. Oh my God, I'm gonna say. Sorry about that. I've been sneezing quite a lot lately. I don't know what it is. I think the weather became very cold very quickly over here. It might be affecting me. So everybody and anyone who's watching, Karen is announcing that her website will be live starting next week. I guess that's Karen's Kits. What? .com, .nz, .co.nz. Karen, can you kind of spell it out in the chats with like fake language, okay? Like Karen's Kits .co.nz, something like that. Okay, just spell it out for everybody in case anyone wants to check in with you, okay? All right. All right, Karen, let's go and do your reading. I'm sorry. Okay, all right. No, it's not. I don't think it's Bubba, because Bubba is close to me on and off all through the day. Hello, Nature Explorer. Welcome to the show. You came to the right place at the right time. It's a very Sagittarian evening that we're having here. We're heading into the eclipse. Dear Nature Explorer. The perfect entree to the next reading. Okay. Karen, here we go. Okay, I can't, there's no way I can go back to check if you had any notes, Karen, because that was on the other video. This whole show tonight is going to end up as 2 videos on YouTube because there was a complete meltdown about an hour ago. Thank you for being here, Nature Explorer. Perfect. I don't know either, Karen. Don't worry. I think it's perfectly okay to ask what that means, Karen. Anyway, so everybody, this is what we know so far. Karen is very busy at the moment. She just had to do some deliveries and pickups with her son. She's got a drum circle tonight happening very, very soon. And her website is going live next week. So that's like a culmination, you could say, you know, with the full moon. Okay. Karen, if you're not sure, ask Nikki. Karen, what I was suggesting is, like, in the chat, it will shut it down, but I can reactivate it. If you want to, if it's karenskits.co.nz, feel free to write it in the chat and I will approve it, okay? Okay, so Karen, the subject is work and creativity. Okay, let me just put it in here to be sure. Thing is, Karen, you're very entrepreneurial by nature, and then having to be a mom and a partner at the same time, that's a lot, okay? Oh, thank you, Nikki. Okay, Karen, we're going to focus on work and creativity. What are the messages that we have here tonight for Karen regarding work and creativity? I get the feeling right now, Karen, your hands are very full. Very, very full. But you have an uncanny capacity to be able to handle a lot. Nikki's an elevator, Karen's an escalator. It's all about the evolutionary journey moving forward. Okay, cards are well shuffled, so let's just do it. Okay, here's the situation. Here's the challenges. Here's how we're going to handle it. Let's have a look. What's the weather like for you? So, you've got the Six of Wands. Okay, the way I look at it is it's time for you, Karen, to assume the win. Okay? You just have to kind of know it. Okay, hold on. With this Six of Wands energy for you, Karen, what it feels like, how can I put, okay, here's the way to do it. Like, if you have any doubts about your abilities, your skills, your, let's say, your courage, your destiny, the outcomes, if there's any doubt in any of that, it's perfectly understandable. And so how do you deal with that doubt? What you do is you look at the face of doubt anyway, and you kind of go, all right. So it could all turn into, doesn't matter, I will overcome. Why? How is that so? Because I am Karen, and I already know through my own spiritual development and evolution that you have to believe it to see it. Okay? So all I'm doing here, all that's happening with that opening card, the energy, is just a reminder. Karen, just remember. Just remember. You have to believe it to see it. That's it's like the automatic win. Sure, there's going to be moments like where you're realizing like, oh my God, is it worth it? If I'm getting the feedback, am I getting the respect? Am I getting the compensation? Am I getting paid properly? All of those things are based on fear. The questions, question. Am I marketing things aggressively enough, assertively enough, effectively enough? Does anybody understand the true value of my work? See, do you see that all those questions are coming from a position of fear, like I must be wrong, I must be unworthy, I must be doing something less than. I think what's happening in this reading is just a kind of like a sort of like a, don't worry, Karen, just pretend I'm like one of your best buddies, okay? And I just show up and you're having these moments of self-doubt, and you're wondering, like, what is going on with work and career and all of that? And I'm just one of these larger-than-life characters, and I just walk into the room and I kind of go, Karen, what on earth are you worried about? You've got this. You're already on top. You're already ahead. You're already a winner. You just needed a reminder. Let me give you a hug. There you go. A big fat hug. You're fine. You're doing really great. It's like you just needed a pep talk. You just needed a pep talk. And it's coming from the reading. This reading is like a pep talk, okay? That's how I look at it. Let's have a look. So it kind of doesn't matter what the rest of the cards are, because I'm going to reinterpret them in terms of a pep talk. I'm not even going to bother with this. Here's the situation. Okay, so with the Ten of Pentacles here, it's very much about money, wealth, skills, talents, and physical reality. Like, but to me, these work very, very tightly together. Karen, you have to believe it to see it. And obviously, like in any business, like Nikki says, you are the CEO, the chairman, executive officer of your life and your world. You're already an entrepreneur. You're already a businesswoman. You're already a mother. You're already a partner, and that's great. But what really counts right now, the thing that is really like in your blood, the passion, is work and career. And it would be so easy to question the viability, like, oh, is this ever going to work? Kind of what really counts is that you're kind of like you're in the zone. You just need a kind of a pep talk. Let's just say it's from Tarot Illumination to just remind you, Karen, you're already in the zone. You just have to keep going. Think of it as a long-term investment, okay, where it all adds up. You just keep doing the work. You keep doing the work. Like a long-term investment program, you're not here to just make a quick buck overnight. The real value is in a long-term commitment, the understanding that you do have something of value, you do something of value, and it will be acknowledged, understood, and recognized, and let's just say compensated accordingly, okay? Okay, so you said, let's just say you needed a good pep talk. All right, okay. So, let's just say this is the pep talk, okay? You're getting the pep talk that you're on path, you're doing something worthy, you're doing something that has value and integrity, and it's cool, all right? Now, always with any business, you've probably already figured this out as a businesswoman. Excuse me, hold on. Okay, Nikki and Karen, you guys work it out. I'm just going to keep going here. Something about motorcycles. Oh, God. Okay, so what's the problem? So this to me is very much, okay, right off the bat, Karen, this is very much about a huge pep talk. Just pretend I'm some kind of like really like big successful, success coach, relationship coach, career coach, how to make it, how to optimize your talents kind of coach or something. And what I see here in Karen Clark is like, Karen, you've already got it, okay? So the question is like, it's not a question. It's like, so what do we do now? Well, you capitalize on it. You just keep doing what you do. You work, you focus on the good stuff. You optimize your business, your skill, your talents. You put more and more energy to what works, and you take more and more energy away from the things that don't work. I'm not saying starve yourself or divorce yourself from the kids and the family. but find a balance point, because the Ten of Pentacles is very, very much to do with family, but it's also to do with long-term wealth, long-term, like legacy. For example, Karen, right now, it might not be the biggest, most successful, most rewarding business, but it looks to me that it has like long-term implications. Like, you know how, okay, I'm trying to think of New Zealand right now. Hold on. Because, Karen, you're in New Zealand, and New Zealand, relatively speaking, has a very short history in terms of, economics and politics, because it was only colonized about, like in the 1800s or something. So it's still very new. But even in New Zealand, you do have legacy businesses, family businesses that get passed on generation to generation. You have enough history in New Zealand where that happens. So what I'm sensing for you is that your business, your work, your creativity is not just about how much money can I make right now. It's much more about planting seeds, laying the groundwork for something that could be, go on for years. Like a generational thing, like somebody inherits it. You build a business and it's established and it keeps going, and then you teach it to someone else and they take it on. I know there are businesses that do that in New Zealand. New Zealand has a very strong kind of artisanal culture, like artisanal cheeses, artisanal foods, artisanal crafts, farming, whatever it is, art, homebrewed beer, homemade this, homemade that, and they have all these farmers markets all over the country. And so what I'm thinking of for you, Karen, it's the same thing. Like your Karen's Kits, for example. It's not just about building a website for right now. It's about building something as a business for the long term. Okay? Bringing in other people. And so they understand it, that it has residual value, long-term history, generational value, legacy value, okay? All right, so what's the problem here, obviously? All right, okay, let's have a look. Going forward, okay, so we got the Ace of Wands here. My feeling is that the obstacles, what you're dealing with, what you're facing is like starting a business from scratch again. Because I know, for example, Karen, I know because I've checked, New Zealand has huge lockdowns right now. The whole country of New Zealand is basically blocked off from the rest of the world, completely isolated, okay? And I also know that New Zealand has a very, very active tourism industry. It's one of the most important aspects of the New Zealand economy. And of course, that is on lockdown right now. Because you are in the world of arts and crafts, a lot of that stuff would not necessarily be so important to the natural New Zealanders. It needs to be, but it could be even more important to, let's say, the tourist industry. So my feeling is, again, start to think long term, and even if you're suffering right now, remember there's probably thousands of people in New Zealand right now who are suffering because of the crash of the tourist industry. And if you're feeling that bit of pain, it's understandable. But this too shall change. This hideous lockdown, this global new world order type of, I don't want to go into it. I'm not going to talk about it because it's like disgusting and evil. You will come out of it, okay? All right, Karen? New Zealand will come out of it. You will come out of it. So what I'm asking for you is to think big, think long term, and try and put yourself into the when the tourist industry revives, where you are one of the websites, you're one of the places, you become a destination. They have like tour buses, they go blah 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 and whatever, and people and you start to appear in all the promotion and marketing materials for the whole of New Zealand tourism, where it says like a little paragraph somewhere and some pictures. Hey everybody, when you're in so-and-so's town, you need to stop off at Karen Kitt's. Okay? So it becomes like a tourist attraction. I know that might sound crazy. I'm not a business coach, I'm not a consultant, but that's how I'm looking at it. So it really is like a destination. Like people go there because they want to like see what you got, what you do. And that's how I'm looking at it. It's not just about making money. It's about creating an experience, like this aura, like a phenomenon, a generational thing, a legacy. And it lives above and beyond you, yourself personally, and your bank account. That's what I'm sensing here, okay? And with the Ace of Wands here, to me it makes me feel like, it makes me feel like you might be a little bit shy about seeing yourself and your business on such a scale. Like you're like, it's almost like, hey, Lumination, what are you saying? Like I live in this little town way far away. It's over here by the ocean. Like whoever's going to come there? But the thing is, Karen, there's a lot of pent-up tourism in the world right now, and New Zealand is on the map of global awareness like it has never been before. In the last, ever since March 2020, New Zealand has become famous for safety amid the lockdown, and it's become famous for being a country that is completely and utterly locked down to the rest of the world. And that's how people know New Zealand now. And I know for a fact, because I've been doing research, there are hundreds of thousands of people who are now looking to come to New Zealand for tourism where they would never have even heard about it or thought about it before. So that is actually the energy of golden opportunity for you. There's no point in looking at your life right now and going like, oh my God, how am I going to ever make this work? Whatever's going to happen. You've got to think big. Got to think long term. Think generational wealth, family. Thinking about establishing a business that goes on for years and it becomes a standard, one of the main ingredients for like a tourist destination in that part of your world, okay? Here we go. How are we going to deal with the problems here? To me, it looks like an issue of self-confidence. That's all. Okay. Just imagine this. With the Page of Pentacles here, just remember, Karen, at all times, you are still a novice. You are still learning and growing and trying to understand business, finance, work, creativity, career, banking, accounting, payroll, management, all that kind of stuff. You are a natural, okay, Karen? You're a natural already, but the way to go forward is just remember that you're still very new. You're still very young. You still have a lot of life ahead of you. There's a lot to learn. There is a lot to be done. And that's what happens in business. You wake up every day, 5 or 6 days a week, and the first thing on your mind, of course, is just, loved ones and family. But then immediately afterwards, like, I got to take care of business. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do or how I'm going to do it, but all I know is that I have to get up today and take care of business, and I have to look at it constantly, permanently, from the positive perspective. Always believe it to see it. You have to believe in the wind to see it. If you don't believe it, it's not going to happen. You can't wait for the outside world to tell you, hey Karen, you're awesome. You're going to be successful and amazing. No, you have to live it. You have to be the one who lives it. You got to believe it to see it, okay? You can do it. Just always remind yourself that even some of the big bosses of really big corporations, the really, really good ones, they always happily admit that they learn something new every day. Okay? It's the same for you, Karen, okay? You just keep going. All right, there we go. Thank you so much, Karen. Nikki, you're up next. Okay, let's just shuffle it up, people. Okay. I'm going to put a song on. Thank you, Nikki. I'm going to play Wonder Ride. It's called Wonder Ride. It's about the epic experience of life. It is about the amazing wonders of life. Like a roller coaster. 1 minute you're up, 1 minute you're down, and you just treat the whole thing as an amazing adventure. I hope this works. Let's see if this works, okay?
Okay, we are rolling. So, this is a birthday present for my sweetheart. Just wanted to share this. Okay, here we go. It's called Wonder Ride. My dear, this is my birthday present to you, to celebrate the day that heaven made you. It's remarkable that we both found one another. And the day we set out on our transformational ride with each other at each other's side, it soon became evident that we are both changing. And it's such a wonder ride, my dear. Yes, it's such a wonder ride. Hold on tight, tightly, my dear. Journey, it starts to unfold in a multi-dimensional world of untold delights that truly defy the imagination. You've naturally taken it up on yourself to document all of the nuances that go to make up a story of extraordinary proportions. And it's such a wonder ride, my dear. Yes, it's such a wonder ride. Hold on tight, tightly, my dear. It's such a wonder ride, my dear. Yes, it's such a wonder ride. Hold on tight, tightly, my dear.
All right. So I hope that helped a little bit. Let's get back over here. Right now, we're going to wrap it up. We've got a reading for Nikki. She wants some broad messages about the eclipses in general, specifically anything coming to her from her guides. Okay? As some of you know, Nikki has some very active, lively guides over there in the spirit realm. Cheers, Nikki. Okay. All right, let's have a look, see what's going on here. I just got to shuffle it up again. I like to have a really pristine deck for each reading. And then we can have the most authentic reading. Hey, Jeffrey, if you're still around, I'm not going to have the time or the energy, I'm being honest. Okay? But I thank you. Okay? I don't do jumpers and flyers. Don't do that. I'm not doing any oracles tonight. I'm just not going to do it. And we're just going to do no reversals, okay? Everything is just going to be really pristine, very, very simple. Yeah, that's one of the cool things about doing these live shows. You get your reading, but then it immediately records onto YouTube, and you can access it within a few hours, you know? If I did all this stuff and had to record it, it would take freaking days. Nikki's calling in Chris. Okay. Oh, so Nikki, I'm already, as you know, often happens, we get this kind of connection thing. So what I'm sensing, the feeling that I'm getting here tonight is that, let's just say Chris is right here, or in your case, he's right there. And he wants to let you know that I'm going to do some acting right now because I was sensing like his presence, and it's just like, pretend I'm Chris. Okay. Oh, it's Nikki's reading now. Yes. Excellent. Okay. So TL, how's it going? Okay. Good. Because we're going to do this properly. I am Chris, and I am a spirit guide, and I take my job very seriously. Okay? Yeah. So that's how it is. That's how we're going to do this. We're not messing around. Okay? So that's the vibe I got. Okay, Nikki? Chances are it's going to go a little bit bigger and wider than that, but that was just like a feeling of energy, and I did my best to translate it to you and for you, okay? I need to keep shuffling. All right, here we go. Let's go big here. Let's have a look. Here's the situation. Here's the challenges. Here's how we're going to handle it. Now let's have a look. We're gonna just give ourselves a lot of room here, okay? Page of Wands yet again tonight. Okay, so what I'm sensing here is that with the Page of Wands, I'll pull up the chart in just a minute, but to me what it seems about, it's very much on the eclipse, we're talking about the Sagittarius Sun full opposition from the Gemini Moon. So it's like a moment of awakening. It's a moment of full-on, like inescapable, in-your-face realization. Like, wow, things really are as amazing as they are. And it is truly mind-boggling. And the big challenge, of course, as always, when you're dealing with that big magnanimous Sagittarian energy is like, What on earth am I supposed to do with that? How am I supposed to bring that down to earth in a way that works for the people? I mean, it's great having all this awareness. It's great having all this experience. It's great having all this exposure and like absorption of knowledge and wisdom and everything. But what about the practical applications? So when I see the Page of Wands here, to me it's a very, very useful energy of like, okay, well, we're just going to figure it out. Okay, like the other way I can explain it, Nikki, is like this. Pretend I'm some kind of like medium to lower level university professor, and I am in charge of like some kind of anthropology, globalism type of program or whatever. And I have to make things really appealing to my students. And so what I do is I put on this aura like, okay, like I'll get to the point here. So Nikki, hear me out. Like the idea with this Page of Wands here is that you need to be aware that however much you know already, however much experience you have out there in the great beyond and the great wonders of Jupiter and Sagittarius energy, there's still always more to learn. There's always a new horizon, another level to be attained, to be achieved, to explore, to learn. And you just need to be aware of that. Like it never actually stops. So like, it's a never-ending story. The journey never stops. And then every time you learn something new, it becomes your responsibility, obligation. You have to share it with as many people as possible because your role is to be on the journey. And like every now and again when you have a chance, like, oh my God, I have to tell blah, blah. Oh my God. And so my role here as your reader, which is like pretending I'm like the college professor, is to basically infuse you with enthusiasm and courage above and beyond, and to excite you and get you fired up to where you realize, oh my God, I'm so glad I signed up for this lifetime. I'm so glad I signed up for this university course in expansive anthropology. I never knew there was so much. So that's what I'm sensing, Nikki, for you right now here. Here's another way to look at it. Give me a second. Okay. So, Nikki, as you know, I've started reading this book. I don't know if I'll ever actually make it. I've got this far, okay? Don't look at that guy. Okay. You know, I'm not going very quickly, as you can tell. I've got this far and there's a long way to go. I don't know if I'll be able to read every page, but somebody wrote this. Somebody wrote every word in this book. And they had the time and the energy to do it. And I've enjoyed every page and every word on this book. Okay? And it's given me an expansive understanding, awareness. So I'm suggesting it's sort of like the same thing for you. It's a really big book. And you just got to keep going. And the adventure just keeps going. And you're always, always learning. It never stops. It's a never-ending story. That was a pop song from a fellow called Limahl in the 80s. All right. So what's the situation here? By the way, Chris is right at your side because from what I can tell, he really enjoys being on this journey with you. It's fun. It's exciting. Here's the situation. So with the Ten of Cups here, this is sort of a family card. So the way I see it, it's much more about being with your tribe, being with your love tribe, being with your family. Like, let's celebrate right now, Nikki, for look at it this way. We have a long history together. You've been with this channel since almost the very beginning. And you've been a very prominent figure in the channel. And you've helped a lot of people indirectly through this channel. That needs to be understood. That needs to be celebrated. Like, you're one of the tribe. You're one of the family. They are one of you. You love them. They love you. We love you. You love us. It's all part of one thing. And that's what happens when you, it's like going on this, like an awesome adventure, like a camping trip, where everybody realizes that, oh my God, we're heading into the unknown. We're doing things that none of us have ever done before, and we're doing it as a family. It's delicious. Okay? Okay. All right. So what's the problems? Okay, there's bound to be something. Okay. Okay, so with this energy of suspended animation, my feeling is that this is something to do with your past, where, Nikki, you might have been in periods of life where things are just like too much. Hold on. Too much too quickly. Oh my God, oh, excuse me. I don't know what it is. Oh my God, I'm gonna see. Oh God, it's one of those sneezes I can't catch it. It's just right there. Damn it. So, with the Hanged Man here, Nikki, what I'm feeling is that, the best way I can describe it is that, like in the life journey thing, as you step into the next chapter, okay, it's your season is coming up. It's big, it's bold, and it's adventurous, it's courageous, and it has meaning and purpose. That's the full moon there. Like, the Gemini moon is saying, well, that's fantastic, Nikki. Oh, it's great for you, but what are we going to do with this stuff? You know? There's a reason we're here. There's a reason you're here, Nikki. There's a reason Chris and your guys are hanging out with you. It's because, like, you have value and meaning, purpose above and beyond what you know you have already. And the only way to access that is just to keep going on this epic journey, on this never-ending story. Sorry, I've got this sneeze that is stuck there, and it doesn't want to come out. And so, like with the Hangman, like, what I'm trying to put across is this sense of paralysis when you reach these evolutionary gateways. Remember, this is an eclipse right now. Sagittarius sun with the Gemini moon. And then we've got the Sagittarius new moon in 2 weeks. Okay? So this is a really significant little time stamp for you, this chapter of your life. And I don't know if you've ever had that in life, your life experience, like with relationships or jobs or activities, where you kind of freeze in paralysis, freeze out of fear, and you didn't ever even see it coming. The only reason I know about this energy is because it's happened to me several times, because I've always had this feeling of being like, I'm indestructible. You know, it doesn't matter what you do. I will die and I will be reborn. So I think you have a bit of that in you, Nikki. But also it's like, I used to do some roofing jobs with some family who were in construction. And I felt like amazing. I thought, I can just zoom up these ladders and up to these roofs and carry all these tiles and slates or whatever, and everything's fine. And so I was just doing this, and I felt like I was an epic hero. And then like whatever it is, 40 or 50 feet up in the air on a ladder, I froze. I literally froze. And I didn't know that I had frozen until I realized the only thing moving are my eyes. The only thing I could move was my eyes. And I looked around and I looked up and I thought, oh my God, the roof is up there. Oh my God, the ground is down there. Oh my God, I've got 70 pounds of slates on my back. And my arms won't move, my legs won't move, my head won't move. I'm paralyzed. So that's what I'm sensing, is that you've probably been through chapters or episodes or incidents in your life where you're just moving forward in Nikki manner, in Nikki fashion, always expanding, always growing, always having some kind of sense of confidence that there's something bigger, something more, and all you have to do is keep going. But every now and again, you reach this moment that of a paralysis. And it's very scary. It's absolutely terrifying, and it makes you feel like, I don't want to ever do that again. I'm never, ever going to do that again. But the point is, it's just a moment in time, because the paralysis happens because of our own unawareness of the dangers that we face going forward. So what happens with the paralysis is actually something from the limbic system, the autonomic system, to do with raw survival, where you might feel totally courageous about going forward and doing this and that, but your limbic system is telling you, Nikki, you're walking on very thin ice right now. We're just letting you know. Since you are not capable or ready or willing to stop because you just want to go on and live and grow and expand, we are going to stop you. And that's called paralysis. And you can't control it. And so my feeling is that there's a part of you which is terrified of that experience of paralysis, because you might have encountered that some time before in your life where you're just being Nikki. You're just being Nikki, and then something suddenly blocks you or stops you, like a person or event or circumstances where you became utterly powerless, completely paralyzed. You couldn't help anybody else. You couldn't help yourself. It's like having a freeze. It's just like when your computer locks up and freezes. It's like, oh my God. And that's very scary. If you've ever worked with your laptop or your computer or business partners or everything, and then suddenly someone says something or does something and everything kind of goes, what? That's what I'm sensing here. There's some kind of deep terror that you have inside of you about the paralysis of what happens. It's the same thing of like, when kids like to walk right on the edge of a cliff or something, and they're totally oblivious of the danger. But there is definite danger. The paralysis helps the physical body to basically say, you've gone too far, we're going to stop this game now. And then you retract, and eventually either someone or something rescues you, or you recalibrate and you rescue yourself. Okay? So what I'm sensing is that going forward, all is good. Everything's fine. Everything's just exactly as it should be. And the sense of adventure is continuous. It's ongoing. And you're with the right people at the right time, at the right place. You are loving and you are loved. But deep down, there is a fear that there might be some paralytic, cathartic event in the future that you won't be able to cope with because of previous life experiences, okay? So going forward, what do? Obviously, you've got your guides. You can the thing is that in situations like this, you might forget that you have guides. You might forget that you are guided and protected. You might just be literally stuck in a paralysis because of some horrible childhood experience. It comes suddenly bubbling to the surface and it stops you in your tracks. How are we going to deal with this? Okay, it's kind of this is another pep talk reading. It's another pep talk reading where the solution to the problem, whatever the problem is, if you ever end up in these situations of where you're living your life, you're going through your evolutionary gateway, the eclipse is like where it's happening right now. You're here, you're getting bumped up to here, and then you move on here. There's no going back. Okay, you are operating at a higher frequency from here onwards, and especially from the new moon onwards in the middle of the month and towards the end of the month. And so if it becomes really disorienting for you over the next month or so, please understand that that would be normal and do not fear, okay? You keep going anyway, and just remind yourself, hold on. Just remind yourself, well, maybe you need someone else to remind you, like Tarot Illumination or one of your guides like Chris. Remember, you're freaking awesome. Okay? You just need to remind yourself that you will prevail. You are a goddess. You have everything that you need. You're already guided. You're already protected. You just needed a reminder. That's all. That's all this reading is about. It's like you're already on path. Every now and again, you might freeze or whatever, but you kind of do one of those things and you're fine again. Everything's just fine again, okay? You're awesome. You're amazing. You're a goddess. This is very much about girl power, serious, heavy-duty girl power, goddess energy. And don't forget it, because every now and again you might forget. Okay, especially when things get very, very, very tough and you question your girl power, you question your awesomeness. So this is just a reminder. It's like a pep talk reminder, okay? Chris is giving big hugs, like big shoulder hugs, like big brother hugs. So if you want to imagine Chris as like this awesome, awesome big brother, okay? Like when things really get bad, don't forget, you've got your guides, your spirit guides, and Chris he got you, okay? It's like that energy, like, right, Nikki, don't you worry. You've got me. You've got Chris. I'm right here. Right? We got this. Whatever it is, whatever the problem, we're going to handle it because you're Nikki. And I am Chris, your spirit guide. That's sort of how it feels over here. All right? All-purpose universal. He's kind of like WD-40. Got a problem? Got a problem? You want to unstick it? Got a problem? Want to make it work better? Smooth it out? You're covered. Okay? It's like you got an insurance policy, Nikki. All right. Oh, you're playing music in the background. Okay, beautiful. Oh. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you very, very much. Oh, my goodness. Man, I swear I never know where these readings are going to go until they happen. When they do happen, I get a trigger. It's like a switch. It's like a little switch in here, and everything turns into kind of like a Netflix movie. And my job is to literally try to translate it in words that hopefully would make sense to the listener. And then when it's over, it's over. That's it. I'm just an instrument. Think of me as an instrument. I'm an instrument of the healing power of love. That's what I like to think. Oh God, this freaking sneeze, man, it's just sitting there. I think we better wrap it up, people. I'm going to go back to the stage for a second, just check out properly. Jeffrey, we'll meet up. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here tonight. Oh my God, I'm sorry about all this sniffing. Sorry about the big crash earlier. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. Let's have a look. Okay. Okay, I've got to just check something here. Alright, so we're good. Just going to clean up the deck. Alright, well, it's been a splendid evening. Thank you all for being here. I am glad pretty much everyone got their readings in real time, and I didn't have to leave recordings for other people later. Jeffrey, thank you very much. See you soon, okay, man? And for future reference, for those who are watching but have never done this before, what you do is you buy a very expensive post-it note and then you get a free reading. That's how it works. Okay? Thank you, everyone. Have a super, super evening, super night, super day. If you're in New Zealand and Australia, have a super day. Excuse me. If you're here in America, I don't think we've had anybody from Europe tonight. But if you're here in America, sleep well. It is an eclipse, so please allow for like a sense of expansion, a sense of awakening, and a sense of, what's the word? No going back. Things are brought into clear, stark, blinding focus, and then you just have to deal with it. That's the best way to deal with it. And then you move forward. Just keep going. And start planning now for the new moon eclipse in a few weeks, okay? All right, I'm going to wrap it up now. I'm just going to finish off a little... Hold on. Delicious. Cheers, everybody. Let's see who shows up next week. Hey, if you're interested, come and hang out on Wednesday. Well, it'll be Thursday for Karen and Queen of Water. And we'll dive into the scary world of global politics, finance, and economics. Whoa, scary stuff, people. And you will see that I am quite opinionated. All right? Oh gosh, I'm going to have to take one of those pink pills, those diphenhydramine things or something. Good night, everybody. It's been a pleasure. See you all again. If you need anything, just go to terraillumination.com and follow the links. All right? We'll figure it out. All right, I need to play some departing music. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play a really long, slow song. It's like a big chanty thing. I haven't played it in a long time. It's called Love the Word. It's all about, because, you know, we talked about actions matching your words. We talked about that earlier. The power of the word, the power of the spoken word, the power of the written word. It's hard to describe, but it's real, okay? So that's kind of why I wrote this song. The way I recorded it, I tried to make it sound so that when people hear it, they would think they were listening to a huge gospel choir, you know? At one of those big concerts where everyone's like clapping and singing. Really old-fashioned, okay? So it sounds like this. Okay, let's have a look. Here we go.
Sing the word, chant the word, speak the word, dance the word, say the word, praise the word, feel the word, love the word, live the word, vibrate the word, shake the word, hum the word, breathe the word, whisper the word, sign the word, love the word. Sing it now. Sing the word, chant the word, speak the word, dance the word, say the word, praise the word, feel the word, love the word, live the word, vibrate the word, shake the word, hum the word, breathe the word, whisper the word, sign the word, love the word. Sing it now. Sing the word, chant the word, speak the word, dance the word, say the word, praise the word, feel the word, love the word, live the word, vibrate the word, shake the word, hum the word, breathe the word, whisper the word, sign the word, love the word. Sing it now. Oh, sing the word, chant the word, speak the word, dance the word, say the word, praise the word, feel the word, love the word, live the word, vibrate the word,